Now we'll talk about the syntax, how the syntax will be there, okay, and how you are going to use JavaScript. As I mentioned, there is a different way to use the JavaScript, and JavaScript display the possibilities, and that is the different ways. Those different ways are like you can write into HTML element. The first one, I mentioned the inner HTML, right? The second one, like writing into HTML output using document.write you can use. Third way, you can have a alert box using the windows.alert. The fourth one, like you can use into the browser console, that means console.log. When we talk about the first one, about the using inner HTML, to access the HTML element, you have to use like document dot get element by ID, and this is predefined. You are not supposed to write in some other different, like even in a small letter or capital letter. Here you have to specify the same how it is here. If it is, that means it is case sensitive, right? Because you know very well Java is case sensitive program, but HTML is not a case sensitive programming language. But in JavaScript, the same rule will apply here. Then you are going to use document.getElement by ID. That you can see that E is here capital letter, by is capital letter, B is capital letter, I is capital letter, and ID. And this is the method you are going to use in for the inner HTML. What is the use of this ID when we are specifying? That means this ID, this is as an attribute, and it will define the HTML elements. That means your paragraph or your heading tag, that element will define here. And the inner HTML property defines the HTML content. The second method what you have, that is your document.write, and this document.write, you can use like this document.write method. And when you want to print, right, something like write means you are going to display something, right? So when you want that, then accordingly as per your requirement, and then you can use this document.write method. When you want to give the pop-up, that means alert, then how you are going to use? This is the method you have to use windows.alert to give the alert box. Next, if you are using, like you want the console, that means the log, to see that, either you can press the shortcut key as F12, or you can see in the, you can use the console.log to get the debugging. This is used for the debugging purpose. That means you have seen, right, here when you are compiling the program, what will happen actually in compilation? You will be able to see that what error you are getting, right? The same way it is here also. If you want to find the error, then you are going to use this console.log method. Then when we talk about the syntax, before proceeding the syntax, you should know the other things like variable, assignment operation, conditional operation, loops, arrays. You know very well. And we have seen already the sample program in JavaScript, how to execute. The same thing here. And we are going to see this all about the variables and your assignment operator, conditional operator, and your loop and array. These are the things we are going to see. And even you can move to the advanced topics like events and classes, how you can use that. as we have discussed earlier, the variable will be the same how you define in other programming language. Only the difference is that you are not going to use here as a var, that is integer, float, char or array syntax, right? Directly you can write here. So for that we are going to use, as this instead of data type in JavaScript, everywhere you are going to use var and then any variable name. If you want to initialize, give the variable name y is equal to 0. If you want to assign, then variable is equal to 4. Now y is assigned to 4. These are the things you can use. And you know very well conditional assignment, which is called as also ternary operator. If you want to define, so any variable is equal to y is equal to 4. That means the condition first you are going to question mark. If it is true, the first statement will print, and if you give the colon, then you are going to print the second statement. This is the thing. Okay, this is a variable. You know very well about the comparison operator. That means when you want to apply equal to, double equal to, right, less than, greater than, less than equal to, not equal to, not equal in either value or type. You know very well that is x double equal to 9, right? So that means x true. X is equal to, in quote, if you give 9, that is also true. And here you can use actually syntax is here. You can use in JavaScript triple equals also. Actually this is while typing it will get joined. The first one is double equal. Second one is third equal. That means 3 equal you have to give. So this should be exactly equals. The value if you assign, and it should be exactly, it should be equal. So if you write x is equal triple equal to 9, then it will become false because it represents as a character, right? And if you write x triple equal to 9, then it will become true. The same way the rule will apply to everywhere, like less than equal to, greater than equal to, x less than 5. Obviously it is true. So like this you can just use that same syntax you are going to implement over here also. Then conditional, you know that, right? In JavaScript, any conditional operator like if else, right? The same way you can use the conditional statement over here, like the JavaScript, it is identical to the PHP, and when you write this, you can see that variable, I am giving hours of day, that is 1 hours of day variable I am assigning, another variable that is greeting, and I am just defining if the hours of day greater than 4. That means when you are going to say, or when you will say good morning, that means when it is after 4 o'clock early morning or before 12 o'clock afternoon. Then the message will be there, greeting will be good morning. If it is above 12 o'clock, that is 12 p.m. and before 20 p.m., that means 8 p.m., then else it will be good afternoon. And like this you can assign. So this is the conditional statement. Like this you can define anywhere. And same way you have the loop. The same way you have the conditional, that is the looping, that is you can use while or for. You know that whenever you are going to use looping, the initialize, if you are going to use as a while loop, that means you are going to first initialize, then the condition, and then the statement. The same thing is going to implement over here also. The same rule apply here also. Then we have about the functions, right? Then how you can use the functions into the JavaScript. Okay, let's see one example. The basic example, how you can use document.write. what we'll do, we'll create our any HTML file and save it. The same, and I will save as a my.js. Already we have. Let's open that file itself. Okay, already we have created. In previous class we have used like the same. This is the method that what we have used. Like you can write and remove this as of now. Okay, and the same you are going to use, and this I am using the document.write method here. Okay, and you are just going to give in the body section, you are going to write the script. So whatever you want, you can write it here. Even you can, if web crawler is there, and whichever the code you are going to use within the head tag, that will not display on your browser screen. That is actually happen on that is output. So when you want to use, and you are going to use a script, as I said, the syntax, then type is equal to text or JavaScript. Then if you want to simply put your any message, then you can just write the method document.write and you are going to use welcome. If you want to print HTML document, then that also you can do that, and which you can see that I am writing here document.write h1 JavaScript. I have closed the h1. Even if you want to use here as a paragraph tag, okay, that also we can use it. I'll give here paragraph as a have a nice day. Okay, this is the paragraph. Let's save it and we'll execute and see the what output we are going to get. Okay, you can see that what happened. JavaScript welcome we have given. So this is JavaScript alert. We'll remove this also. First we should get welcome. Okay, see here we are getting first as a welcome. Next have used here JavaScript. You can see I am getting the JavaScript, and in paragraph I am getting your have a nice day message. If you see the source code, okay, either you can press Ctrl U, or if you press